Hello guys, how you doing? This is AJ and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I'm going to be talking about money. So if you're in your 20s and this is something no one has ever told you about, then it's time for you to change things. Sit down, buckle up, because I'm going to be sharing you real talk about money and how you can invest in yourself and be the person you want to be. One thing we usually underestimate is the art of budgeting. You know, when you're in your 20s, you feel like maybe you're not going to get old, you feel that maybe I have it all figured out. Sometimes we tend to think that we're actually too far away from the responsibilities that will come to catch us up. You're in that mindset that maybe I don't have a kid, I don't have a wife, so I don't need to worry about anything. Maybe you graduated recently and maybe you are doing 1, 2, 3 and your life seems to be really smooth and you don't care about the aspect of budget. Trust me, you have to incorporate these skills early enough, so that when you're in your 30s, in your 40s, you don't want to regret about the things you wish you could have done differently. So trust me, you have to create a budget and stick to it if you want to be financially smart, if you want to attain financial stability at an early age. Maybe in your late 20s, you'll be at a position whereby you can turn things around because you started practicing the money strategies. You started practicing your personal finance in a really smart way. So you have to create your budget and stick to it. In most cases, no one will tell you about this. No one will tell you to create a budget because most of us usually think it's really not a big deal. Maybe I'm earning a few $100s here and there, so there's no need for me to budget for anything, simply because I know what I'm going to spend my money on. I know where my money is going, so I don't have to worry about budgeting because I don't have so many expenses, or is that there's no need for me. A budget is of no importance to me. But trust me, at this age in your 20s, this is when you start to craft your money. This is where you start to plan everything. This is where you plan who you want to be in 10 years from now, and that will be in your 30s, maybe 35, maybe if you're 25 right now. So sit down, create a budget, and really work on it, stick on it, because this is going to help you. When you create a budget, you are likely going to be smart enough on how you spend your money. You won't be spending your money on things that don't really impact your growth. Always spend your money wisely. You'll always know how to craft your budget, because it's an important skill and most of us usually ignore it. And the moment you ignore such a skill, man, it's going to hurt you, because if you don't have the habit of working or of always spending your money intentionally, it's going to affect you even when you get in your late 20s or in your late 30s. And trust me, this is going to be a financial disaster for you. So create a budget and stick to it. Always be intentionally about how you spend your money. Always know how much you need to spend in a month. Always know the expenses you usually take care of, and this is going to help you a really big time if you are in your 20s. This is something no one told me about when I was in my early 20s, and that's why I'm sharing with you guys just real talk to craft your budget, to craft you to be the financial beast you want to be. When you create a budget and stick to it, it's possible that you're going to create an emergency fund somewhere, especially if you'll be using the rule of 50, 30 and 20% rule of budgeting. You'll have a section of your income whereby it will go directly to your saving, or maybe to your debt repayment, especially if you've graduated recently. You probably have lots of debts, student debts that you have to clear. So creating a budget, especially using the rule 50, 30 and 20% rule. I talked about that rule in my other video. You can go and watch that video. It's a recent one. So when you create a budget and stick to it, you're going to have the chance of setting aside a stash of cash that you are going to save on your emergency fund. So the emergency fund is something else that I want to touch on. So in emergency fund is going to ensure that you have a future. You have a safety net somewhere. Financially, these financial emergencies always hit us when we really we at least expecting. Creating an emergency fund is going to make sure that you have somewhere to rely on when things don't go sideways. Maybe there's a business you want to work on somewhere, and you need a quick stash of cash that you can't find somewhere except from your emergency fund. So having an emergency fund is going to set you up for the future. It's actually going to ensure that you are not worried about anything. If something happens whereby maybe you want to move out of the country really fast, that you have a stash of cash somewhere you save that is going to help you relocate from your country to maybe where you want to go. If you want to start a business really fast, maybe there's an opportunity just swept in, and you want to grab it and make sure that you finalize yourself on it, and it makes you it takes you a step further. This is going to help you. So having an emergency fund is really important, and you can't do that if you're not someone who is always creating a budget. And that's why I said earlier, it connects with the first point. So when you have a budget that you stick to it, you always make sure you save. And the emergency fund, having an emergency fund is going to ensure that these amazing opportunities that require you to have a stash of cash somewhere, maybe $500 to maybe to $1,000, it's actually going to help you build something that you really didn't expect. So if anything just sweeps in, if you have an emergency, a financial emergency that you need to work on, it's going to help you. So you're not going to worry about anything that is going to happen in the future, because you know that there's cash somewhere that you can take and you can work on it and actually solve all your financial problems. So this is really an important point, and no one really talks about this. So if you're in your 20s, make sure you have an emergency fund created. If you're in your 20s, make sure you work on repaying your debts, because if you don't repay them early, the debts will keep on incurring. They'll keep on increasing. If they increase, maybe and you get in your 30s, in your 40s, and you have other responsibilities, you'll have a wife, or maybe if you're a woman, you'll have a child somewhere, you'll be married somewhere. Maybe your husband or maybe won't be able to take care of some of the bills, and it will be up to you guys, because you'll always be helping each other. And if you're a man, you have a kid, you'll have other responsibilities. You have to pay your mortgage, you have to pay your rent, other utilities that will come forward. So if you don't have an emergency fund whereby you can say, okay, let me use my emergency fund maybe to buy a house somewhere, so that we can reduce the expenses that we have on a monthly basis, it's going to be really tough for you, and you're going to be broke. You're going to be broke and stuck. So this is something that is really important, because it sets you up for the bright future. So ensure that you have an emergency fund. This is always really important. So if in your 20s, this is something you really have to keep in mind. You start investing early. The early the better. When you start investing early in your 20s, when you are in your 30s, you don't have to worry about anything, because you know that I have a cash somewhere. I have a stash of cash somewhere that is multiplying each and every day. This is really important. So think of a platform that you can invest in. Think of stocks that you can invest in. You have to be smart about investment, and before you make a step of investing in anything, make sure you do thorough research on that. And investing early it's going to help you so much, because the early the better. If you start investing in your 20s, when in your 30s you have a really good amount of income that you can just pull out of somewhere and make your life easier. So it's always about a plan. It's always about researching early enough the amazing opportunities that you can invest in as early and is in your 20s, that are going to make everything really easier for you when you hit your 30s. So take these opportunities. If you're watching this video and maybe you are stuck somewhere thinking of man, what should I do in my 20s in order to attain the financial freedom that I'm aiming for when I'm in my early 30s, something like that. So start investing early. Think of the compound interest. Let it be your best friend. Think of something. And guys, be smart enough. Don't get scammed out there, because there are so many people who are telling you that there are some really amazing opportunities of investing, and you might throw your money at it blindly without doing enough research on that. That's going to cost you so much. So make sure that you do your research enough. Find an opportunity that resonates with you, and invest in it. Invest your money. This is a really an amazing point. I wish I knew this earlier, because trust me guys, when I hit my early 20s, when I was in my 20s, right now, let me say I'm heading in my 30s. Just that is what you have to know. I'm heading in my 30s, and some of these tips that I'm sharing with you today, I wish I knew them earlier, because guys, to be honest, if I started investing early enough in my 20s, just with the moment I hit 20 years old, man, I don't think I will be in such a position right now, because right now I'm in a state whereby I'm building my financial freedom. I'm in a state whereby I'm working on several passive income streams, and if I did that early enough, man, I would have been in another position. But it's all about timeline. We all have different timelines, and if you're getting this message early enough, you have to work on investment. So think of something that you can invest in. Think of a stock. Think of where you can stash your cash and it can keep on multiplying in a daily basis, because this, guys, is going to be a game changer when you hit your 30s. And that's when maybe you'll have lots of responsibilities, maybe you'll have lots of expenses to take care of. When you're in your 20s, you actually don't have much to deal with, because you have little responsibilities. So invest early. This is something that I'm really emphasizing on. This is something else maybe no one has ever told you about. You are too busy consuming content on the social media, and you feel that your lifestyle should be in such a way. You are in a stage whereby you think, oh, maybe I should have this fancy car, maybe I should have this fancy watch, maybe I should go with the trend. Things are evolving, and if you just consume content without thinking straightforward, you're actually going to find yourself making decisions that are really going to cost you in the long term. So let's talk about lifestyle inflation. You're thinking that, oh man, I'm working on several businesses right now and I'm earning good money, so I should spend it all on this lifestyle, or kind of lifestyle. Maybe you've been checking out content on social media, Instagram especially. You're looking at the influencers, how they're spending their money, how they're living a flashy life, and you're thinking, man, this is the lifestyle that I want to emulate. You're doing it wrong, and you're not supposed to do that, especially when you're in the early 20s. Because if you start to live in such a lifestyle, you're going to find yourself making poor decisions when it comes to your finances. And the moment you make poor decision when you're in your early 20s, I'm not saying that it's going to be impossible for you to catch up and correct all your mistakes when you are in your 30s, but actually it's going to cost you. It's going to cost you, because when you are in your early 30s, you are now in a stage whereby you don't have the energy that you had when you were in your 20s. It's a point in your life whereby you want to just sit down, start on working on things that are going to improve you as an individual, to make sure that you don't work 6 to 10 hours in a day to make sure that you meet your ends. So this is going to be really a tough time for you, and if you don't have things stabilized somewhere, it's going to cost you. So the lifestyle you're leading in your 20s should plays a big role on the person who you're going to be when it comes to your financial freedom, when it comes to the things you want to achieve financially. So make sure that you just don't try to keep up with lifestyle that other people you're seeing out there in the social media. So try to take a lifestyle that you can afford. Try to live below your means. Don't try to compete with other people out there, because don't just go with the trend simply because you are seeing lots of people doing it. You should be yourself and just look at your finances. Look at how much money you're making, and think of a way you can actually live below that, so that you save more, so that you create a chance for you to work on your emergency fund, so that you think of a way you're going to save enough money to be able to buy your forever home that you're thinking about. So this is all about being financially smart as an individual, as it's something it's going to help you grow up to be the person you want to be, to attain that financial freedom early enough. So be smart, really be careful with the lifestyle you choose. In my case, I chose minimalism because I realized that I don't need lots of things to be happy, and I realized that it's one of the lifestyle that is actually going to prevent me from spending so much money on things that are actually useless, things that I actually don't need in my life for me to be comfortable. So take a step back and think of that really carefully before you choose any kind of lifestyle that you want to lead on. So this is really an important point, so you have to take note on that. The lifestyle you choose really affects the person you are going to be in the future, especially when it comes to your financial freedom, when it comes to the part of you being the financial beast you want to be in your 30s. In your 30s, you're supposed to be taking it easy, taking it slow, enjoying life and enjoying the fruits of your labor when you're back in your early 20s. Trust me, there are people outside there who are making a really smart financial decision, and someone is 18 years old and someone is making lots of money, and these guys are investing in so many amazing projects that are going to set them up for success in the future. And this is how you should think about everything. So don't just try to copy a lifestyle from somewhere simply because you think I can afford it, simply because you think it's a style, it's a trend. Avoid that, and you're going to secure your financial freedom really early enough. After the part on the lifestyle, this is something else maybe no one has ever told you about. Just live below your means. Living below your means doesn't mean that you should live a life that is really restricting you from doing things that makes you happy. I don't mean that. You should live below your means, and this means you should check on your lifestyle, cut out unnecessary expenses, that you find yourself indulging. This is going to save you lots of money. So living below your means doesn't mean that you should look like a poor guy. You are in your 20s. You're supposed to enjoy life, guys. You're supposed to enjoy life. It doesn't matter the kind of goal you have. It doesn't matter who you want to be in 5 or 10 years to come. You have to enjoy life because life is too short, man. Life is too short. Life is really short, and people are just going. People are going every now and then. So it's really important to enjoy your life, and also at the same time, you don't enjoy your life and forget that you also have something else that you're supposed to build. Because the decisions that you make today, these financial decisions that you work on today, are going to affect you for the rest of your life. So be smart, and always cut out unnecessary expenses. If you don't need to spend money on something, don't spend money on it. Don't spend $200 on a video game, guys, especially if you know that it's not going to help you in any way, rather than consume you, rather than take you all your time, the time that you're supposed to be using to keep on creating passive income stream that are going to help you in the future. Man, don't spend money on that. Don't spend money on things that that are not going to benefit you in any way. Spend money on things that that in a few years from now they're going to help you. That's about investment. But let me say, in my case, I have another YouTube channel. I'm a gamer. I usually create gaming content also on other channels. Those are some of the income streams that I'm working on. So if I spend money, $100 on a game, I surely know that game is going to pay me back because I'm a content creator, I'm a gamer. But in your case, maybe let me say you're not a gamer. Spending $2,000 or more on a game, it's actually not a really good, smart financial decision for you. But if you're in a state that if I spend money on this, it's actually going to help me, then go ahead and do that. You should focus on increasing your income. If you're in your 20s, right now you should focus on increasing your income. Think of side hustles that you can indulge yourself into. Think of passive income streams that you can work on. There's so many gigs you can do right now. There's so many passive incomes that you can work on. If you're good at creating content, then dive into it. Because though it might not give you the results that you want really instantly, but in a few years from now, it's going to help you. So if you know that you have a skill that you can monetize, man, this is time for you to start working on it. because in a few years from now you're going to really enjoy your success, and you're going to be happy that I started something else. You know, I sat down and I thought, okay, it's a really good idea for me to work on my income streams. And I started, you know, it's a really long way. Like the shift that I made into this YouTube channel you're watching right now. I was creating another content, and I decided, you know what, due to the changes that I'm going through, due to the person who I want to be in future, let me just shift the content. And when I started doing that, I knew right away that it's going to be a long shot. But I'm doing it because I know in a few years from now, it's going to be somewhere, and I'm going to be making lots of money out of it. And also I had the same mindset with the other income stream that I'm working on, the gaming channel, the travel channel that I also have. I kept that in mind, that I know in a few years from now I'm going to be making lots of money from it. So though I know it's not an instant, I'm not maybe I might be hustling right now to keep them moving. Maybe it's going to burn me out. It's going, you know, I'm going to find myself way too busy, and I won't have time to enjoy myself. And I'm okay with that. This is the sacrifice I'm making right now, because I know in a few years to come I won't have to go through the same thing that I went through in my early 20s. So dive in, increasing your income streams. So make sure that you work on things that are going to help you financially. You know, things that are going to keep on increasing your income stream. If there's some gigs, freelance gigs somewhere, don't hesitate to jump onto them. If you know you can start writing content on blogs, on websites, man, you should do that. If you know that you have a skill, you can draw, you have a talent in art, you know, go ahead and do that, because that is going to help you in the future. So create as many possible income stream as possible, because that's how you're going to be rich. In your early 20s, in your early 30s, you're going to be rich, man. And that's where I'm looking at right now, because I'm working on things that I know they're going to take time, but once I build them, I'm going to be happy. I'm going to be celebrating on the things I worked on. So always learn new skills that are going to become a part of your income stream. Always chase side hustles. Always think of businesses that you can tap in. You know, be smart, and this is going to help you so much when you hit your early 30s. When you're in your 30s, whereby maybe you have so many responsibilities, will have so many expenses to take care of, this is going to help you. Always think of opportunities that are going to help you grow financially, and that's how you gain your financial freedom early enough. If you are in your early 20s, this is the time for you to start protecting yourself. Protect yourself. Your health is your wealth, because everything I said early enough as I started this video, it's not going to be applicable for you if you're not healthy. So protect yourself. Make sure that you have a healthy living style. You know, you have a healthy lifestyle. You know, watch out at the kind of food you eat, the things you consume, man. The things you consume. Avoid alcohol, guys. Avoid smoking. Avoid things that are going to affect your health in the long term. You know, you should avoid this thing. Protect yourself. And then something else, get an insurance, health insurance. You know, it's really, you know, even if you're healthy, just get one, because you never know, something unexpected might happen in future. And that health insurance that maybe you're paying a few bucks in a month, it's going to help you so much. So always protect yourself. Always choose a healthy lifestyle. Avoid consuming things that are going to affect your health in the long term. Maybe like smoking. Maybe you may think that it's not affecting me in any way right now, but in a few years from now, you're going to regret that decision. So avoid consuming things that are going to affect you in the long term. So avoid it. Protect yourself, because your health is your wealth. And also, it's really important for you to indulge yourself in workouts. You know, do some exercises that are going to help you be healthy. So this is really a smart choice. It's really a smart choice when it comes to protecting yourself. When you work out, you get healthy and you get smarter enough, you know. And when you're smart, when you're healthy, it's easier for you to make amazing decision when it comes to your financial progress when it comes to attaining your financial freedom. So always think of a healthy lifestyle, because a healthy body is equal to a healthy mind, is equal to a healthy lifestyle, and is equal to a lot of benefits comes with it. So if you're not healthy, man, if you're not living a healthy lifestyle, this is a sign. Watching this video right now, if you're watching this video right now, it's a sign for you to shift things. It's time for you to change things and be the person you wanted to be. The last point I want to touch on is about, reinvesting in yourself. Always keep learning continuously. The world is evolving, and as per technology, the technology keeps on growing every now and then. So always keep learning. If there's a new skill that you can learn, which can add on into your income stream, man, you should go ahead and learn that. Learn new skills. Don't be afraid to spend money on something that is going to help you grow, especially learning new courses that are going to help you. Recently I started learning a new skill, Blender. Man, it's way tough, and there's so many things to learn, but I decided to venture into that because I was so much interested into it. And when my friend talked about it, I decided, I should learn this new skill. And I've also been learning on ways I can be financial smart, on ways that I can attain my financial freedom really early enough. And that's why I thought it's a really good idea to dive into this personal finance niche. So think of something that you can learn and dive into it fully. It can take 2 to 3, maybe it can take a half a year. But when you are done with it, man, you'll be at a position whereby you can use the same skills to multiply your income. So you should always keep on learning new things. You should always be on the lookout. Look at the trends. Look at what is going on outside there, and always think of a way you can reinvest back into yourself. So don't be afraid to spend a few dollars on an online course that is going to help you. Don't be afraid to try new things. Don't be afraid, to venture into something you have never done before. And that's what is going to help you grow as an individual. Like right now, creating this kind of content, let me say the finance area. I always wanted to create such kind of content, but it was a challenge for me. It was a challenge, and it meant that if I had to start this kind of content, then I had to change my lifestyle. I had to make sure that I'm working towards meeting, my goals, attaining the financial freedom early enough. So it is a challenge for me, and also like learning Blender, it's a challenge for me, So I'm pushing myself into things that are going to force me to evolve as an individual, that are going to help me attain my financial freedom early enough. So always dive into these challenges, something that you find yourself really struggling at. If you're really struggling at maybe following up your budget, that's where you should stick to it. You should stick to it, because if there's a challenge, it shows that, man, this is whereby there's a room of an improvement. This is whereby there's actually a chance of you tweaking things around and attaining the results that you always want. So always think like that. So keep on learning new skills, and always look at the skills that you're learning as a new source of income, and that's one is going to help you. Because right now, if I started learning Blender, I'm going to be really good at creating animation, creating landscape, something like that. And in future, maybe I can think of, let me just start creating animation on that. And trust me guys, animation pays really good. And if I start working on such kind of content, I'm also going to be making enough money that I'll also add on my income streams that I'm working on. So it's a really smart decision. Always keep on learning. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you're new to this YouTube channel, kindly like the video, subscribe, and share the video to people who are actually interested in this. Share this with people who are aiming to improve themselves. Anyway, thank you so much, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.